Good morning. We're rebuilding a 2005 Yamaha 70 TLR two-stroke outboard motor. And I just wanted to help viewers understand a pretty important aspect of reassembling the crankshaft rotating assembly with the pistons, connecting rods, bearings. It's more or less all installed as one unit, and it's installed through the back side of the case, right? So normally pistons are installed through the cylinder from the cylinder head side. In this case, because it's all installed as a single rotating assembly, it's installed through the crankcase side. So it takes a little bit of fitting and finagling, if you will, to make sure you compress the rings, which you can do with just your fingers, and carefully guide them into the cylinders one at a time, and then you get all three pistons in. Once you've done that, there's two things you got to make sure. In this case, this is a brand new crankshaft, right? And so the crankshaft assembly does not come with the O-ring seal, which you'll see right here. That is the O-ring seal for the top bearing. That is sold separately, and it comes as part of the maintenance kit. If you buy the maintenance kit that has all of the gaskets for the power head, right? So it doesn't come with that seal, but you have to put that O-ring seal in there before you close up the case. And the other thing I want to point out, I've seen a lot of videos on rebuilding 70s, 90s, 50s. None of them show you this, right? Right here, you see these locating pins. It's very important that you get them where they belong, right? There's one hiding down there at the bottom bearing. There's one at the upper middle bearing, right? You see that? Those locating pins can really give you fits if you're trying to get these things installed, because you'll see, if you don't notice them, they can be at the bottom of the crank as you're trying to drop it into the crankcase, and then you'll be wondering, why isn't the bearing sitting down inside the journal, right? So that's pretty much it. This crankshaft assembly is really a nice arrangement that Yamaha has. I know some people think it's expensive to do it this way, but frankly, I enjoy reassembling engines. In this case, I've actually gone and installed, which you might see through the exhaust port, these lovely Wiseco forged pistons. That's that shiny cylinder you see right there inside the exhaust port, right? That one's up, and there's another one right there. So forged pistons, a little bit of an upgrade, and then once you've got it in there, she should rotate nice and smooth, just like that. And while you've got it open, take two-stroke oil and coat everything, all the bearings, get inside behind the cylinder, or behind the pistons rather, and coat those wrist pins really well, and the needle bearings in there. I actually use, of all things, one of these. You can buy these from West Marine. It's an epoxy resin syringe, and I just fill it with two-stroke oil and squirt it in there. And it's great because you can get down inside all the little crevices between the bearings and the journals and the counterweights. It's really fantastic to do it that way. So I hope this helps you. If anybody else is out there rebuilding a Yamaha two-stroke, it's a fairly easy project. You can do it with simple, basic tools. You don't need a lot of fancy stuff. I did take the time to have my deck machined. I took it to a local machine shop and had them take 6/1000ths off the top of the cylinder block deck, just to get rid of some corrosion I had up there. And this particular engine was bored 20 over, and so I used the Wiseco forged pistons, 20 over forged pistons. All right, hope this helps. I'll see if I can add some more video content here as this thing progresses in its reassembly.